Hey, welcome to the program, Creating Marvels. This is the Human Torch, Amazing Spider-Man. Ready to go? Flame on. From the visual to the very easy to understand powers, Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four was a pretty natural breakout star. He had the appeal of being a teenager, not unlike our buddy the Amazing Spider-Man, whose exploits came out in the next year or so after the FF. Now, first, the Torch was in Strange Tales, where his solo appearances were published monthly for about 3 years. But they were all like 11-page stories. Now, he has a secret identity at first, and there's a small supporting cast, but it's not really developed into anything. Now, Peter Parker, in his earliest days, has very high anxiety about the fact that he doesn't fit in. He's criticized probably quite unfairly, and he's treated like a dangerous outsider element, and he's concerned that if he does things to use his powers, he'll end up afoul of the heroes. So why did this almost villain end up teaming up with the Torch so much rather than, say, the Avengers, Iron Man? Well, let's see. The first time he ever meets the FF, he gives them a demonstration of how well he can kick butt, So basically, Amazing Spider-Man 1 has him visit the Baxter Building and find out it's not a paying job. Now, in issue 3 of Amazing Spider-Man, he meets the Torch, but not in the typical sort of way. This is a nice unconventional twist. You see, in this story, which introduces the power of Dr. Octopus, Spidey sneaks up on this raving madman who's been affected by radioactivity, and he's using his prosthetic to create havoc. And he does his best against him with his powers, but he's a little outclassed. Fortunately, he hears some advice from Johnny Storm given to his class. Right, it's just like a corny school address thing, and he just sort of took it to heart and did something good with it. Now, in issue 4 of Amazing Spider-Man, he faced the Sandman, and then issue Strange Tales 115, he broke out of prison, and the Torch faced him. So that was a kind of a neat crossover between these two guys. But the real business begins with Strange Tales Annual number 2. It's the first Marvel Comics annual, I believe. It's published about the same time as Fantastic Four number 1. It's Human Torch on the trail of the Amazing Spider-Man. You guessed it. They figured, why don't we make these guys opponents? And why not? With the Torch, it's like, for one, he thinks all of this coverage of Spider-Man is something to be jealous over. It's like, even as a figure of controversy, it's like there's fact of it is people wanted to see him in action, So we have Johnny Storm pitching a fit, and a little bit later we get into this situation. I just wanted to mention that, like, Spidey is, for his part, the papers have been doing him no favors. Anyway, he gets accused of a crime. That's what the deal was. And Spider-Man decides he's going to go out to Glenville and talk to the Human Torch. I love the perspective here. Jack Kirby drawing Spider-Man for a change, and it's being inked by Steve Ditko. Okay, so here comes the Torch. It's like he's going to attack me first. Hey, whatever. So here they go. Basically, they kind of do want to pit against each other, see who's got the better of the other. But then for Spider-Man's part, he stops and uses his brains to create a type of web fluid that would allow him to finally get Johnny to stop and talk, to his credit. Now, here's this signature thing that Johnny did. It's like these flame messages. So, Strange Tales featuring the Human Torch every month was half of the monthly book. So you have about 10, 11 or 12 pages for the Torch. And that half strip yielded many less compelling and lasting villains than Spidey's full-length monthly tales with Steve Ditko aboard, drawing and dreaming with Stan Lee. Now, one difference in the strips Amazing Spider-Man and Strange Tales featuring Human Torch or featuring Doctor Strange is the supporting cast. When you don't have a lot of space, you have to feature the protagonist mostly. And with the Fantastic Four as a possible supporting cast, that was something that the writers would go back to, and that's one reason they started including Ben Grimm more and more in the book. So, those Silver Age support casts were never more complicated than Spider-Man fan and Peter Parker bully Flash Thompson and that lion of publishing, J. Jonah Jameson. And by lion, I mean he's scary even when he's asleep. So, check it out. I have a creative response to this factor that makes Torch's adventures seem like a pass and what undermined the popularity of his strip. 2 ideas. For one, I wish Mysterio had been introduced in Amazing Spider-Man 13 without revealing his secrets so readily, and someone had slipped Quentin Beck a mystic artifact over in Strange Tales. Something to use in this round where he'll now teach Spider-Man a lesson. Even Mysterio himself would know fear by the end of this crossover with both stars of Strange Tales. Right about Strange Tales 125 would have been a cool place to have both the Human Torch and Doctor Strange stories be relevant to a thread that weaves in and out of Amazing Spider-Man. Doc takes care of the actual mystic threat, and all of Beck's clever innovations are revealed along the way of his scheme and defeat. The reader knows his powers are gadgets, but then we see him get in over his head with something that is more sinister than mere accessories. I'd like to have his eyes on his chest, from his costume, come to life and start running the show against Quentin Beck's will before the trio of Spider-Man, the Human Torch, and Doctor Strange neutralize the threat.